Vegas Unwrapped, Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, and his tradition. Whenever we come back from break, Cash, it's a Chinese fire drill around here. People come and go off the set, and now we're joined by the incomparable duo. To my immediate right, the last musical instrument playing member of the Treniers. And to his right, Mr. Don Hill, and to his right, the current front vocals for the new band or orchestra with which Mr. Hill plays for, the Speakeasy Swingers, Miss Jeanne Brei. Welcome to Vegas Unwrapped, guys.
Well, thank you for having us.
We want to thank you for coming in. Is Don's mic working there? John, can we just check that? Make sure you want to just give a hello to everybody there, Don, real loud.
Hello there, sir.
No, I don't hear anything coming in on his mic.
I know.
Oh, wait a minute. Cord trouble.
I know you.
Woo!
I know you turned me off.
There he is. All right, that's that pesky microphone. The cord is always a little. So Don, we want to thank you for coming in, and Jeanne.
Let's not forget somebody behind the scenes.
Yes, and operating our camera tonight, recording this festivus evening, is the better half of the Hill clan, is Miss Gloria.
I'm surprised you're even saying
That's my agent. That's my agent.
That's his agent. I'm trying to get the wires to work here, so we're getting a little technical difficulties.
Yes, sir.
Hang on.
It's not loud enough because I can't hear myself.
That's all right. Gloria's probably saying that's not a bad thing. So hang on one second while we do this. I'm going to switch microphones temporarily. Watch your face there, Don. There we go.
So, Jeannie, how you been, man?
I'm great, Ricky. How are
That's
you?
good. I'm doing excellent. And I want to tell you what a pleasure it was, my wife Cammie and I, to come and listen to you perform. And you had a few technical difficulties yourself out there.
We're purposely doing this to make you feel better, Jeanne.
Yeah, I want you to feel right at home. I mean, you had a 45-minute wait, didn't you?
Well, 35, yeah.
35.
It took him 25 minutes to get there and 10 minutes to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. Maybe he met the cook on the way out.
I know. It was pretty funny there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's all good. I'm so happy to see Don.
Okay, we're back up.
Last time I saw Don was at his home, and he gave us a homework assignment, didn't he? Oh,
yes, he did.
Holy mackerel, those books are heavy.
I'll tell you what. I'm still going through. I'm finally up to the year 2000 book.
You're moving faster than I am.
I have pages of notes, and why are we doing that? Because, fortunately, we're going to be doing a show with this guy on a regular basis real soon.
Very exciting.
We're going to have a show titled The Forgotten Pioneer, or A Forgotten Pioneer. Which one did you prefer? A Forgotten. You wanted the.
I wanted
you
the.
prefer
You
A.
like A.
A Forgotten Pioneer.
I like A Forgotten Pioneer.
A man who was few on words, but whose saxophone spoke volumes.
There you go.
Is that good?
You got me.
I done good?
You did good.
I did good.
See, what do you think this is, Brooklyn?
Listen, I want to make everybody feel at home because I know Gloria's from that part of the country. Everybody's all over the place. But now that we got all the equipment squared away, and John, we thank you for switching out the wires.
Thank you, John.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, sir.
And I got to tell you, man, when we were there at the Italian American Club last week, you impressed the dickens out of us.
What did I do?
You played the sax pretty good.
Oh,
Not too shabby.
Not too bad for a guy who's only about 40 years old. Not too bad.
And I bet you didn't
I'm
catch.
58. I'm 58.
Oh, 58. Sorry.
58?
Sorry.
Flip, if you flip those numbers, you still haven't hit it.
No. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm sure playing and doing that and being active with the sax, I mean, age is only a number. You're only as
right.
young as you feel or as old as you feel. We should all be so lucky.
Yeah. I always tell my wife that. I say, I'm not that old lady. I still can go. How about you?
While you're chasing each other around the angel room, right?
I'm telling you. I noticed, and I mentioned it to Don during the first part, just before the show started, that I had turned to Cammie during the show, and I said, Cammie, they're not reading the music.
Nope.
And she said, what are you talking about? I said, they're not turning the pages.
Nope.
I said,
There's no pages to turn.
Well, no, they had it in front of them. So I asked Don. He said, no, they just play, right, Don?
We just ad lib. That's the whole thing about.
That's like our show.
I'm
They
thinking
call
the
it
same
jazz.
Yeah. I mean, because you got to play with the emotion of a jazz background. It's not just it's got that emotion behind it when it was written. So I would think it's more from the heart when you're playing, right?
All the notes are in our head.
Well, sure.
And hard.
Would it be safe? Let me ask you a question. Take any one of your songs, because you have a CD that Jeanne put together, which, by the way, I now have downloaded on my laptop.
Isn't that a
So we
great
can
CD?
play it right now.
He's very technically not challenged these
So,
days.
so how come my VCR still blinking 12
Blinking.
o'clock?
Because you took it from my house.
Oh, that's why.
Right.
Right, yours is
Right.
broken at midnight, I forgot.
Are you kidding me?
Could you, if there was any one of the songs, do you think you played any one song exactly the same at any point in your career? I mean, note for note, exactly the same.
I usually do that all the time, but when I make a mistake, I frown, and my wife tells me, "What you frowning about?"
So where we were just talking about ad-libbing, okay, where of course the notes can, obviously the bases will be the same. So really your songs, even though you have the ability to ad-lib, you pretty much have played them the same over the course of time.
When I play a song, even if I do make a mistake, you will never know it.
Yeah, we wouldn't know it.
No.
We would just think it's an interesting sound.
Well, actually, the Treniers was more of a charted band, and this is
Right.
the man who wrote the charts.
Right, of course.
See, now my band is actually like a straight jazz band,
Mhm.
where I just call a tune and a key, and they just
They
play
just
the
go.
they play the melody, and then one guy will take a chorus and just play jazz. And when you say jazz, you're just improvising
Right.
on the melody, on the chorus, on the chords themselves, and so it never comes out the same way twice. Never in a million years do any songs in my band ever come out the same way twice.
Other than the comedy, all I heard that night was A flat, C, A flat, D.
Mahjong.
Now
You know,
wait a
Mahjong,
minute.
6 crack, 12 band. Oh, sorry.
Bingo.
Yes, exactly. Don, for our listeners, and we do another show with someone who spent 50 years in overall world entertainment, who you and I have talked about, Mr. Tony Martini. And one of the things that people enjoy about his show is the historical perspective of the music industry.
Then and now.
Then and now, because
Right.
he just released his new CD about a month ago,
Right.
called "I've Got to Be Me, My 50-Year Journey."
That's great.
And he's also about, how old were you? Did you say 58? I think he's about 57.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but give us a little background about where you. So how old were you when you first picked up your first instrument?
6.
So for a couple of years now, you've been blowing that saxophone. Was it a saxophone?
Well, no, I started on trumpet.
Okay.
It got too hard to blow. I said, "Mama, give me a." I didn't know if the spit the thing at the bottom was leaking.
Oh,
So she bought me a clarinet,
gotcha.
and from a clarinet I went to an alto,
Okay.
and from the alto I was working in a place, Vicksburg, Mississippi, on a boat,
Okay.
and a guy from where my mother, or the alto from Woodless in New Orleans, he was there, and I told him, I said, "Man, my mother bought this horn from you," and he gave it for $125, and he gave it to me.
Wow.
So I took it.
Now,
Absolutely.
now, Don, was that boat, was that on the Mississippi River?
Yes.
I thought it might be.
Wow.
Because Vicksburg, that's,
Vicksburg,
yeah.
yeah.
Now, where are you originally from?
Texas.
Texas?
I was born in Texas in 19,
No, that's all right.
Right.
but and it happened to me I celebrated my birthday for 81 years, 11/1/21.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can tell them now.
Well, there's no going back now.
So, but come to find out, I was born at 2 o'clock in the morning, and so it was 11/2/21.
Gotcha.
That is one of the great
That's
stories
great.
of all time. Can you imagine? I mean, I have trouble remembering, what happened last week. And here, Don celebrated 81 years worth of birthdays on the wrong day. I mean, that's incredibly impossible.
Now I celebrate every day is my birthday.
There you go.
Now, we should put a little misnomer here. Now, how old were you when you left Texas? 3 months? 6 months? You moved
6
to Nolens.
weeks.
Oh, 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
He was only a Texan for 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Weeks, yeah.
And
No,
then
that's nothing.
6 weeks old, he moves to Nolens.
Nolens.
Yeah.
That's the right way of saying it, right? Nolens.
Nolens.
In the 9th Ward, yeah.
And the Ninth Ward, which of
But
course.
It's underwater now.
Yes.
Well, I left New Orleans in 19... I forgot now.
But that was to go to college, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and you went to where in college?
Alabama State at Montgomery, Alabama.
And that's where you came across a certain couple of gentlemen, right?
On the scholarship thing, and
Right.
a lot of the guys from that band
Mm-hmm.
went to All Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Newman, Matthew G., a lot of other guys, Lucky Thompson,
Right.
were all stars.
Right.
So they left me behind. See, that's why I am a forgotten.
That's it. That's your backstory, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly right.
Well, you know, the time of the era that Don went to college, and you said Alabama State.
Yeah.
And of course, in those days, you know, all the colleges and the universities in the South were totally segregated. You know, it wasn't until, oh man, now I'm going to, James Meredith broke the color barrier at the
Yes.
University of Alabama, or was it Mississippi? One of the, Alabama, and that was in the mid-60s, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't in Montgomery either.
No, it sure
That was
wasn't in Montgomery.
That was down the road a piece.
Yes, it was, because in Montgomery, you know, that's the famous place, of course, where Martin Luther King did his marches.
Yes.
But you know, and you were before that time.
Yes.
Yes, I know that because
I'm older.
you're a bit older. But I at some point, Don, probably on your show, you know, I am going to ask you your perspective about that era, and you know, how did it feel to be seeing that at that time? It's going to be a great topic. We won't touch on it now.
No, let's not go too deep.
But I got to tell you, Don, that's what I'm going to go after.
I have a whole lot to tell them.
Well, see, there you go, and I'm gonna love every second because I love history.
Yes.
So that's great.
Playing in the background right now is It Rocks, It Rolls, It Swings. I don't know if you can hear it,
Yes.
but we have that playing in the background. We have another couple of minutes. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped. Phillips and Cash here with Don Hill and Jeanne Brei. Another couple of minutes before we go to our first break, because I know there's a lot we want to talk about with you.
Oh, we're keeping Don around.
I think so.
Jeannie too.
Jeannie, of course.
And Gloria because
She's pushing the button.
Fair enough.
Without her, we can't do nothing.
There you go.
What's your favorite all-time song you like to perform from the time that you were in the Treniers?
Well, for a long time, from way back to working at the Stardust Hotel, it's a little place across the street, was a little joint. I used to go after the Stardust
Right.
and drink more.
We learned his favorite libation is wine.
Yes, I know that.
That's nowadays.
That's okay.
But they gave us the booze to come over, so we just tanked up. And the song I used to play is Who Can I Turn To?
Oh, there you go.
And I still play it now with Jeannie.
All right. That's cool.
It's a beautiful
outrageous.
balance.
Excellent.
It's great stuff.
All right, listen, on that note, let's step aside to pay a few bills.
Do we have to?
Listen, we got to pay the bills.
Okay,
Otherwise, we don't get a show for Don Hill.
this is true.
All right, when we come back on the other side, we got a lot more questions. In this segment, having Don Hill with us has been brought to you by Mark Rich's New York Pasta Pizza. For the best pizza, Stromboli's desserts in Las Vegas. Give Mark Rich's a call at 702-645-3337. Tell him Vegas Unwrapped sent you. We'll be right back right after this.